Blessings, blessings, blessings. My name is Sean Myrie, and I'm your host of the Down to Earth podcast. Yep, this is going to be a special series, a wrestling series. We're going to start it off with one of the biggest stars of the whole industry, Hulk Hogan. Yes, Hulk Hogan. Real name Terry Gene Bollea, born 1953. He started his career in 1977, but was officially signed to WWF, what's WWE right now, 1983. So, as his career grew, right? Even before 1983, he was in the Rocky movie, right? I think it was Rocky 3 and a couple other cameos he was in, right? Hulk Hogan. So, 1983, as he was signed to one of the biggest wrestling company around, his career started, it skyrocketed. He was a instant star. There's so much things I could say about this individual because I grew up watching wrestling too. I was a big fan of Hulk Hogan with the yellow tights, eat all your vitamins, the mega powers when he joined forces with the Ultimate Warrior. That's later on in his career. I remember so many battles this individual had, superstar wrestler. Everybody wanted to go against Hulk Hogan. It would make them bigger in that company. But Hulk Hogan's career from 1983 in WWE to 1993, right? I'm just kind of speeding up. I could go back and forth, but 93, he departed from WWF, what's called WWE, because he wanted to start a movie career. That didn't go too good, but as he started his career, it wasn't, like I said, it didn't do too good, and he went back to wrestling, but he went back to the rival WCW, right? A lot of wrestlers who used to be in WWE or WF, they were going to WWC in the late 80s, early 90s. It was like a war between two companies, right? I think WCW was owned by Turner, the same individual that owns CNN. But let's go back to Hulk Hogan because he had a couple transformations throughout his career. Now, he's the American hero. That's how they put him. He's the American hero. Eat all your vitamins. All the children loved him who watch wrestling, and adults also too. He has a record as well. He did have a record as one of the longest reigning heavyweight champions in wrestling, right? For a long time. But Roman Reigns, a new wrestler, broke that record recently. Broke that record. Going the WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania 2 also. Hulk Hogan has a big record for that. He won many WrestleManias, right? So as time went, because a lot of people know Hulk Hogan, a certain generation knows Hulk Hogan as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That came about 1996, right? When Steve Nash and Scott Hall, they kind of they formed it before, but he was the other piece to add to their NWO. It became very big. They were fighting WWE. It was the Attitude Era. There was Stone Cold and The Rock. So Hogan transformed from a good guy to a villain. That was 1996, going to the 2000s, because he ended up going back to WWE 2002, right? And that was just for a while. He won his sixth championship in WWE because he had won 5 before when he departed. So the sixth, the undisputed championship, he won in 2003, right? And then he left. No, it was 2002. And then 2003, he left. Some of Hulk Hogan's biggest enemies was Andre the Giant, right? He had Million Dollar Man. Then Ultimate Warrior was with him for a while, and then he became his enemy. Macho Man. Let's see who else. He has a slew of enemies, meaning a lot of enemies in the WWE universe, WWF, right? From 83 all the way until 2003. But he came back for, like, certain events up until not too long ago in WWE. Whenever there's an event, even the old school wrestlers, if they're still around, they involve them. But yeah, the Hollywood Hulk Hogan character really brought him back. He became a villain after being a hero so long. He became a villain in 1996, right? So 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, he was that character, that villain, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. A lot of legendary wrestlers joined that group, including Bret the Hitman Hart when he left WWE, right? So they were fighting the Attitude Era in WCW. That's where Hulk Hogan was when he left WWE 1993. So that was his company throughout most of the 90s up into the early 2000s. Hogan is a very wealthy wrestler, but there's been some controversy in the last couple of years that he said a racial remark regarding The Rock. And you know what? It got kind of swept under the rug. I don't know if he apologized, whatever happened with that. But he had a lawsuit not too long ago against some type of company. I think there were maybe, I don't know if they're spreading false news about him or what it was, but it was over $100 million. Hogan was awarded $100 million, right? But let's get back to his career. He was like the Superman of wrestling, right? Before he became a villain, he had a lot of merchandise, clothes, toys, video games. He's in a lot of different places, known all around the world. Hulk Hogan, right? In the 80s, that was the golden era, especially for him. He was making bank. He must have, because that's when a lot of the merchandise came out promoting Hulk Hogan. But I know he made some money in WCW because they needed him to be one of the flagship wrestlers, right? Hulk Hogan, like I'm saying, a lot of people like him and a lot of people don't like him. I heard stories from other wrestlers on, like, other platforms talking not too good about Hogan. But then he has some of the wrestlers are friends with Hogan, right? When you're at the top, people will hate you. But what I remember from Hogan is those yellow, just the colors he was wearing, yellow and red, and how his character was so colorful, and how he was, like I said, he wasn't the heel, he was the good guy, right? So a lot of people know about Hogan. I don't know what else I could talk about, but he's very influential. Now he has a cannabis company. He got into the weed, right? Um, he got a long career, right? He's probably the most celebrated wrestler of all time. Let's be straight up. Hulk Hogan. Everybody knows Hulk Hogan all around the world. He's like the pop version. He's like Michael Jackson in wrestling. That's what I'm basically saying. So he has a lot of accolades, been in a lot of movies. He tried to have a movie career, didn't really work too good. He's stuck with the wrestling, and that's where it's at. Celebrated champion, been in been overseas, different promotions, but his main promotion was WWE and WCW, right? So this is just a little mini doc of Terry Gene Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan. And he had many other names too. Sterling, Golden, and, bless up, subscribe.